Geographical indications sound as though they should be about geography. They are, but only when geography is defined broadly enough to encompass the history and storytelling folded into how map lines are drawn. Indicating anything at all about geography is ultimately about assigning names to places, how places are made and not just found, about storytelling and not just regional distinctiveness. That built-in multidimensionality means that we can never simply ask whether a wine-growing region warrants its own name. Instead, the question has to be, does someone want to make that region its own place? And are their interests more influential than those of anyone who might disagree? Whether a wine-growing region is one place, three distinct places, or no special place, has everything to do with the way you look at it, across space and across time. Hilgard and the origins of Californian wine regions. In 1880, Dr. Eugene Hilgard asked the California State Legislature for $4,000 to study viticulture at the University of California, and ended up with $3,000 annually for a new wine research program. At the time, Hilgard was the professor of agriculture for the entire university, and thus the state. Last I checked, the University of California Davis's College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences had 381 faculty and over 1,000 graduate students. Don't ask how many agriculture professors are serving the whole state of California. In wine science terms, 1880 is more than halfway to ancient. Pasteur had only demonstrated a firm association between alcoholic fermentation and the critters now known as Saccharomyces cerevisiae in 1857, though it should be acknowledged that some of his predecessors had similar suspicions before then. Wine itself has been around for some 7,000 years or so, and humans have surely been trying to make it better for nearly as long. But enology as we know it is the product of the past century or so. In 1880, shiny analytical chemistry instruments were fewer and simpler. Chemists couldn't wield mass spectrophotometry or liquid chromatography to study specific wine molecules. The whole field of modern genetics, with its abilities to engineer yeast and decipher variety lineages and understand vine diseases, didn't exist. No plant pathologist or computer scientist was mining big data for patterns in close-up images of grape leaves. So what did a wine scientist do back then? A wine scientist made wine, mostly, and evaluated whether anyone would want to drink it. Hilgard, who initially trained in geology and chemistry, then became a professor of agriculture without ever specializing exclusively in wine, took it upon himself to systematically investigate which grape varieties were worth growing for Californian wine, where each could reasonably be planted, which winemaking techniques were suitable for getting the best out of them, and how their end products could be